Hello, my name is Lily, and I'm 26 years old. I work as a financial analyst, and I've been living at home with my parents and my younger sister, Danielle, who is 23. Life at home isn't exactly perfect. My parents depend on me to cover most of the household expenses, but they don't really talk about it. They just assume I'll take care of everything. I never minded helping out because I knew they were struggling with debt. My dad had lost his job last year, and my mom's part-time job barely covered anything. So I stepped in and made sure the mortgage, utilities, and even groceries were paid for. But my sister, Danielle, she's the total opposite. She doesn't work much and spends her days posting pictures on social media, shopping, or going out with friends. One Friday afternoon, as I was checking my online banking app during my lunch break, I noticed something strange. There were charges on my credit card that I didn't recognize. $1,200 for a flight to Hawaii, $2,000 for a luxury hotel reservation, several hundred at fancy restaurants and spas. My heart started racing as I scrolled through the list. I had never booked a vacation like that. My dream was to save enough money to start my own consulting business, and I'd been cutting back on everything to make that dream come true. But now, it looked like someone had drained my hard-earned money for a lavish trip. I took a deep breath and thought about who could have done this. My boyfriend Jake popped into my mind first. He had access to my card for emergencies, but Jake was responsible, or at least I thought he was. Then I realized the truth. Danielle. My sister had a habit of borrowing things without asking, but this wasn't borrowing, it was stealing. I texted her immediately. Danielle, did you use my credit card for a trip to Hawaii? Danielle. Relax, Lily. It's no big deal. I went with Jake. We needed a little getaway. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. My sister didn't just take my money. She took my boyfriend too. That night, I confronted my parents. I expected them to be on my side, to be angry that Danielle had betrayed me. But when I told them everything, they just shrugged. Danielle's young, my mom said. She's just enjoying life. Don't be so hard on her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She stole thousands of dollars from me, and she's with my boyfriend. My dead sight. Maybe you shouldn't have given Jake access to your card. You're the one who's responsible for your own finances. I stared at them in shock. It wasn't just Danielle who had betrayed me. My parents were choosing her over me, just like they always did. That night, as I lay in bed, one thing became clear. I was done being the family's personal bank. If they wanted to defend Danielle, fine, but they were about to see what life was like without my help. The next morning, I woke up with a plan. I was tired of being taken for granted, and I wasn't going to let Danielle and Jake get away with it. First, I logged into my banking app and canceled my credit card. Any remaining funds they thought they had access to would disappear instantly. Then I called my bank. I'd like to report unauthorized charges on my credit card, I told the representative. I believed the card was stolen. Within minutes, the charges were frozen, and the card was officially deactivated. I could only imagine the look on Danielle's face when she found out she couldn't pay for anything else on her little tropical vacation. Next, I had one more step. I stopped all payments for the household expenses. No more mortgage payments. No more utilities. No more groceries. If my parents wanted to defend Danielle, they could figure out how to pay for everything without me. Just as I finished making the last call, my phone buzzed. It was Danielle. I ignored it. Then Jake's name popped up on my screen. I ignored that too. They could suffer in silence for all I cared. By the afternoon, the chaos had officially begun. Lily, my mom yelled from the living room. The power just got cut off. What's going on? I calmly walked down the stairs. I stopped paying the bills, I said. I figured you didn't need my help anymore since you were so supportive of Danielle. Stealing from me? My dad stood up, his face turning red.
What do you mean you stopped paying?
How are we supposed to keep the lights on? The mortgage is due next week. I crossed my arms and leaned against the doorway. Figure it out. You've been siding with Danielle, so maybe she can help you. Just then, Danielle burst through the front door, her suitcase dragging behind her. Her sun-kissed skin and beachy waves were the last thing I wanted to see. She threw her suitcase down and stomped toward me. What the hell, Lily? You canceled the credit card in the middle of my trip. I had to borrow money from strangers to get home. I smirked. Good. Now, you know what it feels like to be stuck without help. Danielle's face twisted in anger. You're being so dramatic, Jake, and I just wanted to have a little fun. I raised an eyebrow. With my money and my boyfriend? She opened her mouth to argue, but before she could, my phone buzzed again. This time it was Jake. I held up the phone and showed it to her. Oh, look, your partner in crime is calling. Should I answer? Danielle grabbed the phone and threw it on the couch. Just drop it, okay? It's over. You got your revenge. Now fix this mess with mom and dad. I left. Fix it? No, Danielle, you're going to fix it. You can start by explaining to mom and dad why they're about to lose this house if they don't start paying the bills themselves. My mom clutched her head. Lily, please, we can't afford to take on all these expenses. Don't do this to us. Maybe you should have thought about that before you defended Danielle, I said. I've been paying for everything while you all treated me like I was just a walking ATM. I'm done. I was packing my bags, ready to leave the house and get some space from my toxic family, when there was a knock on my bedroom door. My dad walked in, looking more tired and defeated than I'd ever seen him. Lily, he said quietly, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have taken you for granted. I paused, but I wasn't ready to forgive him just yet. You didn't just take me for granted, Dad. You betrayed me. Danielle and Jake betrayed me. You all made me feel like I didn't matter.
He sighed.
I know, but this house, without your help, we could lose it. That's not my problem anymore, I said firmly. I've given up my dreams for this family long enough. I zipped my suitcase and stared him straight in the eye. I'm leaving. You, Mom, and Danielle need to figure this out on your own. As I dragged my suitcase down the stairs, I spotted Danielle sitting on the couch with her arms crossed. She glared at me. Where do you think you're going? She demanded. To live my life without you all weighing me down, I replied. But before I walked out, I turned around and gave them one last twist of the knife. Oh, and just so, Jake tried to contact me earlier. Looks like your little vacation fling wasn't as solid as you thought. Good luck. I walked out the door and didn't look back. I drove for hours without a clear destination in mind. I just needed to get away from the mess. Eventually, I found myself checking into a cozy motel on the outskirts of a small town. It wasn't luxurious, but it was exactly what I needed: peace, quiet, and time to think about my next steps. Sitting on the bed, I stared at my phone. Jake had sent multiple messages trying to explain himself. Jake, Lily, I know what Danielle did was wrong. I wasn't part of her plan. Jake, can we meet and talk about this? I miss you. Jake, please don't shut me out. I rolled my eyes and blocked his number. There was nothing left to talk about. He had chosen to betray me, and now he could deal with the fallout. The next morning, I got up with a fresh sense of purpose. I wasn't going to let the past keep me stuck. I had spent years dreaming about starting my own consulting business, and now I finally had the money to do it. The savings I'd protected from Danielle and Jake were mine, and I was ready to put them to good use. I drove into the nearest city and rented a small apartment. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. For the first time in years, I felt free. No parents demanding my money. No sister stealing from me. No boyfriend betraying my trust. I made a list of tasks to get my business off the ground: find a small office space, register the business name, build a website, reach out to potential clients. Just making the list felt empowering. I could do this. I had spent years managing finances for my family, and now I was finally going to manage something for myself. A week later, just as I was settling into my new routine, there was a knock at my apartment door. I wasn't expecting anyone, so I hesitated before opening it. Standing there, looking awkward and embarrassed, was Danielle. What do you want? I asked, keeping my voice cold. She looked down at her shoes, avoiding my eyes. I know I'm the last person you want to see, but I need to talk to you. I crossed my arms. Make it quick. Danielle stepped inside, her confident, spoiled attitude nowhere to be seen. Mom and Dad are in serious trouble. They haven't paid the mortgage, and the bank is threatening to foreclose on the house. We don't know what to do. I felt a twinge of guilt, but I quickly pushed it away. That's not my problem anymore, Danielle. You all made it clear that you didn't appreciate my help. I know, she whispered. I messed up. I know I betrayed you, and I'm sorry. I thought Jake really cared about me, but he ghosted me as soon as we got back. I ruined everything, and now I don't know how to fix it. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. But then I remembered the pain of seeing my hard-earned savings vanish, and the betrayal of knowing my sister and boyfriend had been sneaking around behind my back. You can't just say sorry and expect everything to be okay, I said. Actions have consequences, Danielle. I spent years helping you and the family, and all you did was take advantage of me. Now, you have to deal with the mess you created. Danielle's eyes filled with tears. Please, Lily, if you don't help, we'll lose the house. Mom and Dad are desperate. I sighed, leaning against the kitchen counter as I thought it through. I wasn't heartless, but I wasn't about to hand over money without some conditions. I'll help you on one condition, I said. She nodded eagerly. Anything. I'm not giving you or Mom and Dad money directly. I'll help cover a few of the missed mortgage payments, but only if you all agree to sign a contract saying you'll pay me back with interest. Danielle's face paled. With interest? Yes, I said firmly. This isn't a free handout. You're going to learn what it means to take responsibility for your actions. If you default on the payments, I'll have the legal right to take over the house entirely. Do you understand? She hesitated, but after a moment, she nodded. Okay, we'll sign it. A week later, the contract was signed, and I transferred enough money to stop the foreclosure. My parents and Danielle were relieved, but I knew this wasn't over. They had a long road ahead, and I wasn't going to make it easy for them. A few months later, I received the news I had been waiting for. Danielle and my parents couldn't keep up with the repayment schedule. They defaulted on the loan, and as per the contract, I gained full control of the house. When I showed up to take possession of the property, Danielle begged me not to evict them. But this time, I didn't feel guilty. They had made their choices, and I had made mine. With the house officially under my name, I decided to sell it. The profits gave me the financial boost I needed to expand my business. Within a year, I had multiple clients, a growing team, and a life I was proud of. As for Danielle and my parents, they moved into a small apartment. We weren't on speaking terms anymore, but I was okay with that. I had finally taken control of my life, and nothing could stop me now.